Well, good morning, you guys.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
Guys, it's a beautiful day today.
Yes.
Absolutely gorgeous. A little chilly this morning. I got the shacket on.
It's a little brisk in the shade, that's
hey,
for sure.
It's dress weather. It's dress weather. Hey.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 83 today.
Yeah, it's going to be a gorgeous day today.
Oh, man. It's gonna be a warm one, that's for sure.
Yep.
And we've got a lot of stuff to do today.
We sure do.
I've found a really reliable and somebody I can trust in the hands of replacing my hands for something. So recently I went and got Tiny some tires and whatnot. And while I was at the tire shop, I was watching them install them and everything like I normally do because I'm OCD.
Yeah, Gary's eagle-eyeing. I'm like, what you doing? What you doing in my car?
They impact the lugs onto the tire, and I was like, okay, that's good, and I was like, I hope they go back through and just triple check everything. And of course, as I'm like thinking that, I'm seeing the guy behind him like going behind him with an actual torque wrench and torquing them to spec. And I was like, all right, this is my kind of place. I really like them. I liked them before, but like I didn't see them bust out the torque wrench. I mean, actually, come to think of it, I think I did see him do it on Biggie. And I was like, well, cool, maybe it's just because it's a big truck and everything else like that. But no. Doing it on Tiny and everything, I was like, all right. Yeah. There's some good people. So I'm going to have them do the 30,000 mile service on your car.
Yep.
Because that's going to save me some time and everything. We've got a lot to do and we are going on this trip. So It will be nice and tip-topped and everything else like that. I'm going to stop by O'Reilly's and pick up the air filter and the cabin filter and everything like that. But yeah, I'll have them do all the fluid changes and checks and all that fun jazz.
Yeah.
And I know that they'll actually get done correctly and how it needs to be done. Because from what I know and from what I've talked around, he's the guy. He's the guy over at Magazine Tire. So he's pretty cool. We've got that to do. As well as I finally got myself an appointment for a chiropractor, which that's something that
he's been needing. I've
been needing to set up and get it established and everything. I'm not like dying, or anything else like that to where it's like, I need to go. But my back's always consistently in a pain. So, and this is something that's gonna happen forever.
Yeah.
So I've been like, hey, I need to establish, a chiropractor around here and whatnot. So I'm excited today.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see if they could squeeze me in too, because my back feels a little bit compressed in my neck. But if they can't deal with me today, at least Gary's gonna get dealt with, and that's most important because you're the majority of the muscle. I know I'm some muscle too, but
no, you are, and
I can be on the back burner though. It's okay. You're getting it done is a little bit higher on the priority list than me, and it's all good, man. It's all good. So today we have to go into town. We got to deal with Tiny this morning, first thing. We got to zip off to Fort Smith and get Gary dealt with first thing. And then we also got to go to Wally World because like yesterday, our freaking microwave took a dump. And we don't use the microwave very often, but on like leftover night, So.
And it's not like a powerful one either, but it just didn't last.
No, well, it lasted us about 2 years, and I'll say
2 years.
It was one of those cheaper ones, like the small, really small $40 ones that you can get from Walmart, and it was outside, underneath the Camp Life tarp, and it's been in the weather and it's been, used and abused.
Definitely got used and abused. Yeah. That's for sure.
For $40, we got like 2 years out of it. I can't complain. I really can't.
But they don't make things like they used to.
They sure don't.
Just blows my mind.
My grandparents had their microwave from like the 70s. I think it was the 70s, or it might have been like a early 80s version, but my grandparents had the same one forever.
Yeah.
With the dial that you had to turn. Anyway, that one lasted. I remember having that one until like the early 2000s. It lasted 20-something years.
No.
But they don't make things like they used to.
No, they sure don't.
Well, you guys might be hearing a little bit less crows than usual. Although Calvin, of course, is loud and proud. Chanticleer is trying to stake his claim as well. But we kind of did a thing yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
You guys might notice something.
Yeah.
Yep. They gone.
They gone.
They gone. We had a really good day with everybody yesterday. We had a bunch of the Fram Bam come over. Bobblehead Homestead, the Drifting Dreamers, Junk to Gems, Anthony and Roxanne Country Road Cure, and my sister Dawn. Everybody came over and we had a really great day. It was Lissa's first time actually ever doing the snap. It was Mary's first time ever doing the snap. And actually, we got our daughter into it too. So Julia had her first time taking care of one of these meat birds. I do have a video that's going to come out. It's edited, ready to go. It's going to come out on Simple Life Reclaimed today for you guys. Viewer discretion is advised. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but guess what? This is homesteading.
Yes.
Being as close to your food supply as possible. And if we can provide any kind of knowledge, from our experiences out there into the world, well, I'm happy to do it. So if you guys are wanting to watch the experience and how the day went, I did film it very kind of discreetly, right? So that way you don't see any of the real nasty parts, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So if you're squeamish on that kind of thing, don't feel like, oh, I'm definitely going to want to skip out on that video, because I did film it in a way to where you shouldn't be too grossed out. But I know that some people are also very sensitive on that. So here's your warning. I did put a warning at the beginning of that video as well. So nobody's going to be like shocked and surprised or feel like they got tricked into watching something they didn't want to watch. So, but it is coming out on Simple Life Reclaimed today. And I'm really excited to share that with you guys. Like I said, it was Mary's first time with Junk to Gems. It was Lissa's first time with Drifting Dreamers 5. And it was a very good day.
It was a great day.
And Julia's first time too.
Yeah. It was fun. It was a really good community build.
Not build per se, but it was a really good community.
Building in the sense of just more knowing each other and just more knowledge,
building
more
relationships.
And yes. Actually building.
I know you say build and everyone thinks hammers and saws,
but there's more to it,
There's always more to it. But no, it was great.
It was a good day.
Yeah.
But I do have some chores to do. I'm going to hand this to you.
Pass the baton. Pass the baton.
My arms are already starting to... Oh, my goodness.
I'll tell you what, holding a camera out for a length of time, even if it's a tiny one like a GoPro, you build up those muscles. Maybe that's why I'm so muscular, right? And I can do so much stuff from all the camera holding. Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot nicer coming in here, though.
It is.
Without having the 3 butthead roosters in here.
Coming to beat everybody up.
Even though these chickens,
Here, I'm coming too.
They tend to come and hurtle up against you.
Yep.
Like, hey, you guys need some water? You guys need some water? We need to set up their watering system.
Go on.
I'll let you hang out with the chickens.
Yeah, while you fill up the water really quick.
I'll mute myself.
So it's not so loud. All right. Well, the chickens have been laying a lot of eggs lately, man. We've probably been getting almost a dozen a day. I'd say on average it's about 9 a day. So I am going to have to start doing some more water glassing. I'm probably going to have to start doing some pickling. I definitely am going to have to get busy in the kitchen with preserving the eggs, because, you get so many and you don't want to let them go to waste, right? You want to be able to use them, and not just right now, but like in the future. And our family eats a lot of eggs, but I tell you what, we can't eat as many as they're producing at this present time. But that is a very good problem to have. As far as homesteading goes, they always say that chickens are like your gateway into the larger animals. And that is so true. I am so itching and ready to get some larger animals, but I got to hold my horses, so to speak. And I got to just keep waiting, because we have so much work to do on the house and I don't want to deter too much attention away. But now that we got the chickens all established, I think that we might venture into the world of larger poultry this year. That's probably going to be the only animal that we get this year that's different from what we already have. And I'm thinking some turkeys.
Yes and no.
Yes and no?
I've been thinking.
Does that mean that I can get bigger animals? I keep telling everybody, I keep convincing myself that I just keep telling myself I'm not gonna get bigger animals. We need to focus on the bill.
I gotta still tell you what my mind's been going on.
Okay, I want to hear it.
Well, we have recent health issues, to where
With
we're
me.
gonna need to really do the chicken processing aspect at a way higher volume.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a couple of things that I want to do. I've always wanted to make a chicken tractor. Now, with how much we've got going on and everything, it would be awesome to do that, but that's going to take a lot of time and effort on us. And I'd rather keep it as simple as possible in the sense of raising chickens, right? We've got this coop area, which is awesome.
This coop is great.
This coop is great for our chickens. I don't want to put, you know, baby chicks in this area because of that. But future plans, we're going to be going that way, building areas. I think it would be smart for us to box off this area for a pen area, make a gate, mimic this, right? Just keep on going. But get ourselves 100 Cornish hens and put them in that area.
Oh, I see.
And then we can use those, butcher them and everything later on. That will be like a goat pen area that you can have them in and everything like that.
Well, look, so if we're gonna do like 100 Cornish, then we're definitely gonna want to have that. We're gonna want to keep them in rotation, and it'll be like a once a year thing. So
it'd be once a year, but what I'm saying, just for this year.
For this year, I see.
For this year, but then we'd also
and then use it for like
and then we
goats or sheep or whatever.
Goats or sheep or whatever.
Whatever I want.
Whatever you want, and they all have a pin for
piggies. I'm working them up to pigs. I'm working them up to it, guys. I'm working them up to it. I can't eat the pigs anyway, but I would like a little potbelly one to be my friend, my little Wilbur. Follow me around.
Man, see, I don't.
Gary's all, no.
If I'm gonna have a pig, that's gonna be
I'm gonna set you guys down right here really quick because my arm is now starting to get weary. All right, I got you guys on the perch now. You guys can hang out on the chicken perch. Well, I mean, I would like pigs, but I hear you. You want to raise the animals for meat, which is exactly why we usually get all of these animals. Same with the rabbits, right? The rabbits, we're raising them for meat. They're not just, you know, pets. Although the breeders, we do plan to keep them their entire life cycle, and we're not going to butcher them and put them in the freezer because they're our breeders. However, all of their offspring are going to go into the freezer. Side skirt, speaking of rabbits, we're actually probably going to breed Mama again. This will be her third breeding. And I'm hoping that third time is the charm. I honestly think it was just too cold. And that was the big problem. The first one she completely abandoned. But the second litter, I think it was just too cold. This time of year should be much more successful because it is warming up, and we're not having those freezing nights anymore. So I'm hopeful that this next go around she'll do a great job. But we're planning on breeding Mama right before we leave for our little vacay on the West Coast. And that way when we get back, she'll be about halfway through and it'll be about that time. Yeah.
So it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, it should be good. But we want to get animals that are going to continue to provide for us, and you know, keep us self-sufficient and that kind of thing. We would like to get to a point where we're not buying food from the grocery store, where we're only getting it from, like all of our ground beef and stuff would be coming from our neighbor who has cows, and all of our pork would be coming from our friends that have pigs. Like, we're going to be getting a pig from Robertson's Belly Acres here really soon.
No, and that's partly why I'm like, we don't really need to get pigs. We know somebody that
I want to, like I said, I want a pig for my Wilbur.
I want to look. I want to look more
my
into
friend.
It. Pigs. I'm gonna say this. Pigs are they're the one species of a farm animal that you really got to be careful with. Because if you get sick, it can transmit to the pig. If the pig gets sick, it can transmit to humans. So you really got to be, you know, on top of your game. And we know somebody that's gone through it a lot already, you know, and that's partly where it's like, I want to wait until we're more established and we we can really deep dive into that. You know?
Yeah, that stuff probably won't be this year, but I think this year we will definitely get turkeys, and we'll get a bunch more Cornish hens, and then we'll just keep working on our rabbit production. And if we can get those things kind of set throughout this year, I will call that a big win, because we do have a lot to do on the cabin. We do have a lot of work to do, and we don't want to detract too much of our attention and focus on these other things when we have, you know, we got to crank it up to high gear on that house.
Yep.
So this last year, you know, we took the summer completely off, and we built all of these pens, and we built all this stuff, which I'm really happy that we did, because now we have it. But this summer, I don't think we're going to be taking off the summer like how we did from the house. We're going to just plow right through it.
Still going to be having some fun times. That's for sure.
The weekends we're going to take off, or maybe depending on, you know, what's going on and how we feel, it might be during the week, but that's the luxury of having kids home on summer vacation is, you know, there's no school nights. So sometimes we'll go camping during the week because it will be the better time to do it, less, you know, traffic or whatever, or the weather's nicer or whatever reason, right? But for the most part, we do plan to just stay focused and really crank it up to high gear on that house. So we have a lot to do. We have a lot to finish off. Tomorrow, we're probably going to get back to work on the decking area. We got to get those posts. They're all set, minus the one. We still got to do that one in the corner. And then when we get back to work on that, we got to do those, the beam boards. What are they called?
The girder.
The girder boards.
Basically.
So essentially what we got to do is we have to put the board up, mark it out for level, and then we're going to take it down, just like how we did the decking, the bottom part for the deck, right? We put the board up, make sure it's all level, figure out where our cut line is, and then we take it down, then we notch out the top part of the board, and then we put it back up. It's just the best way for us to get the job done without having to go up and down a million times, without having to double, triple, quadruple check the cuts, and it gets it more accurate. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing tomorrow. We'll see how it all goes, but I think that's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. We got to really crank it onto high gear, because this week we want to get to the point where we are, hopefully at some point during this week, we're actually putting they're not joists, the rafters. We're hanging the rafters from the house to those girder boards, and able to put the zip board up on top and zip it all in before we go on our trip. We want to have that done before we go. So when we come back, we're that much closer, and we just can then focus on that mudroom. So, and there's a question that comes up a lot. What is a mudroom? What are we talking about mudroom? So we're calling it a mudroom, but essentially it's kind of like a sunroom. It's going to have a lot of windows in it. It will have a traditional roof and all that stuff that connects into our roof. But the room itself will have a lot of windows, and it's mostly like an entry room. And we call it a mud room because that's the room that you're going to be able to walk into first before you enter the house if you're coming from the front door. Take your muddy boots off, hang up your jackets, you know, entryway. So, but we just call it a mud room because that's what we do. So, yeah.
I mean, that's what it's referred to as, you know.
Well, there was a lot. I've actually had that question multiple times. Like, what is a mudroom? What is a mudroom? So there's several people that have never heard of that.
Entry room, you know, or whatever. Like a lot of times you'll see it in like the north where the snow is and everything else like that, or you can take off. You know, it's the break. You know, you don't have to all that cold air going straight into the house immediately off the rip when you open up the door. Yeah,
it's that weather break, but it also is like the yuck room, right? Where you can take off all the yucky stuff and leave it there, and so it doesn't kind of like go into the house.
Snow and mud, whatever it is, you know. But it's going to be more like a sunroom, because of all the windows, and we want it for all your herbs and everything can grow in there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to plant my herb garden in there, so that way, as I'm needing herbs or whatever, I can just go over there and pick them and take them to the kitchen and get to cooking. So that's what we're thinking. It's going to be really nice, though. I'm excited. This year is going to be super exciting for us, guys. We've got so much going on. It's a pleasure to bring you guys along with us. I posted a video yesterday on SimpleLifeReclaimed, and again, I meant to post it earlier, but we've been so busy. But I posted it yesterday, and it was kind of a recap of the day of Julia's birthday, and we did like a nice recap, of all the kids, or not all of them, but Abe and Julia, because we were reminiscing about their birthdays, and it had Scarlett in there too, you know. But it was a nice recap, reminiscing on the kids and how much they've grown and how things have changed, and you know, shared with you guys our day. And it's a pleasure to bring you guys along for our life. It truly is.
No.
It brings me a lot of joy that you know, we can bring you guys so much joy, because I see it in the comment section. You guys will sometimes walk down memory lane of your own life, or we'll do something and it'll remind you of something of your past, and it's honestly, it's a treasure to me that we're able to spark those loving, fond memories in you guys. So I want to thank you guys so much for always being here for us, and for always loving on us, and you know, for everything. You guys are amazing. We truly love you from the bottom of our heart.
Yes, you guys.
You guys are awesome.
But we are going to have to hit the road.
Yeah, we do. We got to get to Gary's appointment. We got to go take Tiny in.
Yeah. We got a lot of running around to do.
Got some running around to do. So we're going to roll, guys. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us today. Stay tuned on Simple Life Reclaimed for that new video coming out today. It should be a pretty good one. I hope that you guys enjoy it. And we're going to do some filming today. We'll have some more content coming out, you know, in the next few days. And we'll be back here on Real Talk tomorrow. So until then, friends, we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.